Lies are everywhere. From subtle half-truths to bold-faced deception, dishonesty infiltrates our daily lives, leaving us questioning who we can truly trust. But what if you had the ability to see through the lies, stay calm, and respond with wisdom instead of reacting emotionally? Imagine the power in that, the clarity, the inner peace, and the strength to navigate through manipulation with a steady mind. In this video, we're diving deep into the 7 key signs that someone is lying to you, drawing from the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the actions or deceit of others, we have complete control over how we respond. By recognizing the subtle cues, from body language to speech patterns, you can protect your peace of mind, avoid unnecessary conflict, and make decisions based on truth, not manipulation. Are you tired of being thrown off balance by dishonesty? Are you ready to learn how to recognize deception without letting it shake your inner world? Then stay with us. We're about to uncover Stoic strategies that will help you see through the fog of lies and stay grounded in your own wisdom. The Stoic approach to deception. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca understood that deception is an inevitable part of life. People lie for many reasons: fear, pride, or self-interest, but the Stoics knew that trying to control or prevent others from lying was a losing battle. Instead, they focused on what they could control: their own reactions. The Stoic principle of apatheia, or emotional detachment, emphasizes staying calm and composed when confronted with dishonesty. A Stoic doesn't let the sting of a lie disrupt their inner peace. Instead of reacting with anger, disappointment, or frustration, they remain steady and clear-headed. By keeping emotions in check, they can assess the situation more rationally and decide how best to respond. As Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Lies can trigger our emotions and lead us down a path of unnecessary suffering. But Stoicism teaches that external events, like deceit, are beyond our control. What we can control is our response, whether we allow a lie to shake us or whether we remain grounded in our own values. Key takeaway: lies will always exist, but with Stoic wisdom, you can choose how to handle them calmly, rationally, and without losing your peace. Sign number 1: inconsistent stories. A lie often unravels in the details. One of the clearest signs of dishonesty is when someone's story begins to change. Minor details shift, timelines don't match up, and facts seem to contradict each other. These inconsistencies are often red flags that the truth is being bent or twisted. However, the Stoic approach is not to react impulsively or with frustration when we detect these discrepancies. A Stoic remains calm, observing the situation with clarity and detachment. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When someone's story starts to unravel, rather than jumping to conclusions or letting emotions take over, a Stoic analyzes the facts rationally, focusing only on what is within their control, their response. Imagine someone tells you one version of events today and a different version tomorrow. Instead of immediately confronting them with anger or suspicion, a Stoic listens carefully, notes the inconsistency, and considers the best course of action with a clear mind. The goal is to maintain peace and inner stability, regardless of external deception. Key message: lies reveal themselves in contradictions, but a wise person responds with careful observation and judgment, not anger. By staying grounded in logic and calmness, you can address dishonesty without sacrificing your peace of mind. Sign number 2: avoiding eye contact. One of the most common tells of dishonesty is the avoidance of eye contact. People who lie often struggle to maintain direct eye contact, as they fear their dishonesty will be detected. This discomfort can make them look away frequently, shifting their gaze nervously or focusing on something else to avoid scrutiny. But does this behavior always signal deception? Not necessarily. Imagine you're in a conversation with someone who constantly avoids eye contact. While it can be suspicious, Stoic philosophy teaches us not to jump to conclusions. A Stoic remains calm and focused, observing without making rash judgments. Seneca reminds us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Whether or not the person is lying is ultimately outside of our control, and speculation can lead to unnecessary frustration or anger. From a Stoic perspective, the key is to remain composed and thoughtful. If someone avoids eye contact, it may be a clue, but it's not definitive proof of dishonesty. Instead of reacting with suspicion or accusations, maintain a balanced and rational approach. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts and responses, you stay anchored in wisdom. Key message: eye contact avoidance can be a clue to dishonesty, but it's not conclusive. A Stoic observes without jumping to conclusions, staying calm and composed while evaluating the situation. Sign number 3, over-defensiveness. When people lie, they often become overly defensive to protect their falsehoods. Instead of answering questions calmly, they may deflect, become hostile, or even lash out when challenged. This excessive defensiveness can be a strong indicator of dishonesty, as it suggests a deeper discomfort with the truth. A simple inquiry might turn into a barrage of counter-accusations or anger as the liar tries to distract or avoid further scrutiny. Imagine a scenario where you ask someone a reasonable question about their actions, and they respond with undue aggression or deflection. They raise their voice, make excuses, or try to shift blame onto you. This reaction can be startling, but it's often a defense mechanism designed to protect their dishonesty. In such situations, the Stoic approach is to avoid being drawn into the emotional chaos. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Instead of engaging in a battle of emotions, a Stoic remains calm and detached, observing the defensiveness without reacting to it. The more you remain composed, the more the truth reveals itself, while the liar may continue to unravel under their own guilt. Key message: defensiveness can be a signal of dishonesty, but a Stoic knows not to be drawn into an emotional conflict. Stay calm, detached, and let the defensiveness speak for itself as the truth gradually surfaces. Sign number 4, too much detail. One of the telltale signs of dishonesty is when someone provides an overwhelming amount of detail, especially about trivial matters. A person who lies often believes that by adding more information, they can make their story seem more convincing. But instead of creating clarity, this flood of unnecessary details can cloud the truth and come across as suspicious. Think about a time when someone rambled on about something simple, giving excessive explanations that didn't seem necessary. Instead of a straightforward answer, they overwhelmed you with minor, irrelevant details. This over-explaining is often an attempt to distract from the dishonesty at the heart of their story. From a Stoic perspective, the key is not to get lost in this flood of information. While others may become confused or drawn into the complexity of the lie, the Stoic remains mentally sharp and calm. As Epictetus taught, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The Stoic listens patiently, seeing through the smokescreen of over-explanation and waiting for the inconsistencies to emerge. Key message: when someone provides too much detail, it can be a sign that they're trying to cover something up. A Stoic remains calm and detached, waiting for the truth to reveal itself without getting lost in the excess of information. Sign number 5, changes in voice or tone. A subtle yet powerful indicator of dishonesty is the change in a person's voice or tone during a conversation. When people lie, they may unconsciously alter their speech patterns. This can manifest as a higher pitch, faster speech, or even a quieter, more hesitant tone. These shifts happen because lying creates internal stress, and that stress often reveals itself through vocal changes. Imagine being in a conversation where everything seems normal until, suddenly, the other person's voice becomes quieter, or their words begin to tumble out at a rapid pace. It's a small, almost imperceptible shift, but it leaves you wondering, what's behind this sudden change? From a Stoic standpoint, it's important not to react hastily. Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, taught the value of remaining present and grounded, even when something seems off. Rather than immediately assuming deceit, a Stoic takes note of these vocal changes and continues to observe. After all, these cues are just that, cues, not definitive proof of dishonesty. Key message: changes in a person's voice or tone can offer valuable insight into their emotional state, possibly revealing a lie. However, the Stoic doesn't rush to judgment. Instead, they observe without reacting, letting the other person's behavior tell the real story over time. Sign number 6. Evasive body language. Body language can be a significant indicator when someone is lying. Liars often exhibit signs of discomfort, such as crossing their arms, fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, or turning their body away from you. These small, seemingly unconscious actions can betray their inner unease and fear of being caught. Imagine you're having a conversation with someone, and they keep shifting in their seat, crossing their arms, or looking away. It feels like they're hiding something. Maybe you've experienced that gut feeling where the person's body language just doesn't match their words. But from a Stoic perspective, it's important not to jump to conclusions. The Stoics believed in controlling their own reactions rather than being swept away by assumptions. While body language can offer valuable insights, it's not a definitive indicator of dishonesty. A Stoic reads these physical signs without judgment, focusing on staying calm and rational. They know that people can be uncomfortable for many reasons, not just because they are lying. Key message: evasive body language can signal discomfort or dishonesty, but a Stoic remains composed and doesn't immediately assume the worst. Instead of reacting emotionally, they observe the entire situation, considering all the evidence before forming conclusions. Body language tells part of the story, but it's just one clue in the bigger picture. Sign number 7. Delayed responses. When someone lies, they often need extra time to fabricate the details of their story. This hesitation, while subtle, can be a sign of dishonesty. The delay allows them to think of what to say as they mentally piece together a story that sounds plausible. These pauses may seem unnatural during a normal conversation, where responses usually come more fluidly. Imagine asking someone a straightforward question, like where they were earlier, and noticing a slight but noticeable delay in their answer. It's that pause where they hesitate, possibly crafting a response that isn't entirely truthful. However, a Stoic wouldn't immediately jump to conclusions based on this alone. Stoicism teaches patience and emotional detachment in the face of uncertainty. Instead of becoming suspicious or confrontational, a Stoic lets the moment unfold without rushing to judgment. They remain calm and allow the silence to linger, knowing that time often reveals the truth. Key message: delayed responses can indicate hesitation or dishonesty, but a Stoic does not let these pauses disrupt their peace of mind. They observe without letting suspicion cloud their judgment, knowing that even if dishonesty is present, they have control over their own reactions. Patience and composure are the Stoics' tools for navigating uncertainty. So, now that you know the 7 signs that someone might be lying, how will you handle it the next time you're faced with deception? This knowledge puts you in a unique position. You have the tools to navigate the murky waters of dishonesty without losing your grip on your own emotions. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the lies people tell, we can absolutely control our reactions. When you encounter someone who may be deceptive, resist the urge to react impulsively. Instead, take a moment to observe the signs you've learned. By remaining calm and centered, you can approach the situation with clarity rather than confusion or anger. Final reflection. You have the power to see through deception and maintain your inner peace by observing calmly and responding wisely. This is precisely how the Stoics dealt with dishonesty. They didn't allow the actions of others to dictate their emotional state. They focused on what they could control, their own thoughts and reactions. If you found these insights valuable, don't forget to subscribe for more practical Stoic wisdom. Each video will equip you with strategies to navigate life's challenges with clarity and strength, just as the Stoics did. Together, let's learn to remain steadfast in the face of uncertainty and emerge stronger from every encounter. Your journey toward greater wisdom and resilience starts now. Join us and let's explore this path together.